Hey, welcome to Mama Mandala, where magic is somatic. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad to have a moment with you, a moment of transformation, of utilizing our practice to bring ourselves into deeper connection with ourselves so that we can be more confident, more rooted in our own being. Some of us walk this world very confident and are able to overcome moments of shakiness pretty quickly and easily. And for others, it may take longer. It might be a whole life's journey to find ways to get grounded in ourselves and trusting ourselves. And it may go through waves, and it's supposed to go through waves. So life moves in waves and in cycles and through spirals. So we're not supposed to always hold the same level of anything. We're not supposed to always be happy. We're not supposed to always be anything. We're supposed to move through a wide variety of experiences with ourselves. So if you're feeling not very confident, that doesn't mean you will always feel not confident, and that doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. It's a moment. It can be. We can use it. We can utilize moments of feeling really shaky in our confidence of ourselves to actually gain more confidence. Every time we feel down on ourselves and really not knowing what we're supposed to do and really not knowing who we are and feeling untrusting of ourselves, those moments can become portals into engaging more deeply in a conversation that allows us to gather ourselves, to connect to ourselves more deeply, to strengthen ourselves. Every time we feel that weakness of falling apart, we can remind ourselves that our falling apartness is the way that we recreate ourselves. So if you're a very confident person, fantastic. Use this practice. Use the next few minutes to connect to connect to that part of yourself, and to not get stuck in that is how you have to be all the time. Our shaky moments when we are not fully sure of ourselves are really important too. When we are a little shaky, we get to question things to the point where we can make shifts. When we are moving away from this idea of completeness into a work in progress, which is what we all are. So every time we step on the mat, whether it's a physical practice of asana or just breath work or meditation or even a conversation, a philosophy, mythology conversation that makes us contemplate and question things and find ourselves in different ways, those moments are, those practices, the practice of yoga is alchemical. So it can help us both burn down the places where we're too sure and build deeper ground and wider foundation to stand on. So it's a both and, question and anchor. All right? Take a moment to bring yourself to all fours, to your hands and your knees. And just to shake things up, I wear jeans sometimes to my practice because I don't have time to go change and then change back. And then I'm just going to wear what I'm wearing for the day. I'm going to get on my mat and get things going. Press your hands into the earth and move your hips a little bit back and forward. And as you root your hands into the floor right now, root them like you mean it. Press the inner edges of your hands down into the ground so that when your hands are your foundation, sure, they can get shaky, but they have to be strongly connected to the ground. Otherwise, your wrists will start hurting. Okay? Inhale, reach your hips back and your chest forward. And exhale, slowly looking towards your navel and round your back. Bring a tone to the back of the throat and start to breathe Ujjayi breath. Inhale, hands root down, hips back and chest forward. So the breath makes this resonant sound. Exhale through both inhale and exhale. That restriction in the passageway of the breath. Inhale and look forward, reach your hips back. Exhale, looking towards your navel and round your back. This restriction in the passageway of the breath helps the breath become more powerful. One more time. Inhale, hips back, chest forward. Move the spine in both directions. Bring your spine to the space between. Inhale, hips are back, chest is forward, but also the belly is rooted back. And exhale, lift your knees up off the floor, up and back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, if you are not putting weight on your hands today, if this is too much for you, if your wrists are in pain, you can do, every time we do downward dog, you can either keep your knees down, or you can put your hands on a wall or on a chair or on a table. So you're rooting yourself in a different way, and we have to develop this way of trusting what our body is saying. If it's not good for us to do downward dog today or this week, this year, or ever, let's not do it. Okay? Inhale the right leg up. But if it feels amazing, do it. Exhale, bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand and bring your left knee to the floor and use your arm and your leg, press them into each other. To cultivate confidence, we're gonna need to push one thing against the other. We're gonna need to check ourselves. So confidence and questioning actually work together. Not questioning ourselves and developing what we think is confidence that way is actually more of a tyranny than actual confidence. Deep breath in. Think about authoritarianism. Exhale to downward facing dog. Do you think that the downward facing dog, do you think that the person in charge has confidence? That they feel like they need to have that much control over everybody? I think maybe not, right? Tyranny doesn't have confidence. Inhale the left leg up. Where there's no room for breath, there's no confidence. Exhale, bring your left foot outside of your left hand. Bring your right knee to the floor. And left elbow and left leg push into each other as you breathe and lengthen your spine. One side, one part pushes against the other. There's a little friction, right? There's a little resistance, and that's what builds trust. Think about all the relationships that you have in your life. If there is no room to question, to struggle, to have conflict, there's no room for growth. There's no confidence. There's no trust. Deep breath in. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. So questioning ourselves is actually really important for our relationships with ourselves. Reach your hips up, ground your hands down, root your heels toward the earth, and with an inhalation, bring your knees down to the ground, ground and root through the inner edges of your hands a lot. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower your chest forward and halfway down towards the floor, and lift the top part of your shoulders, the heads of your arm bones, back up and away from the floor. From here, inhale into cobra. And if at any point I'm doing something that feels like your body is not ready for or isn't prepared for it, or it's not the right thing for you, please don't do it. Okay, deep breath in, like when you're doing cobra, if that's too much for you. Forearms down, Sphinx pose is a great option. Downward facing dog with an exhalation, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Listen to what you need. Trust what your body is saying. And question it a little bit. Are you just not feeling like challenging yourself? And if so, can you challenge yourself a little bit to grow your strength? Inhale the right leg up. Keep your hands pressing down. Exhale, bring your knee toward your nose, your shoulders over your wrists. And again, you can do that with your left knee down to the ground. Inhale, leg back, or with your hands at the wall. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose. You're going to do one more. I'm going to show you. If your hands are at the wall, you're lifting the leg up and you're bringing it in. You're still going to get some abdominal strength through that. With your next exhalation, step your right foot forward in between your hands. Deep breath in, a right arm outside of right leg. Press the arm and the leg into each other like you did before, only before the arm was on the inside. Exhale, bring your left knee down to the floor and lengthen your spine. Inhale, lift your left knee up off the floor. Keep squeezing the arm and the leg into each other. Exhale, bring your left knee down. Lengthen your spine. Inhale, leg up. Knee up, I mean. Exhale, bring your left knee down. Inhale, left knee off the floor. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog, and root your hands down into the earth. The tips of the fingers root down. The inner edges, the knuckles of all the fingers, especially the knuckle of the index finger, rooted into the earth as you root the hands fully down, deep into this intention of connecting with yourself and trusting yourself, so that you can trust in the processes your life is in. Inhale the left leg up, because sometimes things get really hard. I don't know if you noticed that. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your nose. Collectively, individually, knee to the nose with the knee on the floor or the hands at the wall. Inhale the leg back or through a down dog plank kind of a way. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your nose. One more. Inhale, reach your leg back, lift it up high. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your nose. You can inhale right here as you press the floor away from you with your hands. And exhale, place your foot forward in between your hands. Left arm, left leg, push into each other. There's that connection / friction, a little conflict and resistance / a deepening of relationship. Right knee down with an exhalation. Keep the left knee and left arm pressing into each other. And inhale, right knee up off the floor. The spine is long, legs rooted. Exhale, right knee down. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, right knee down. The arm and the leg press into each other. As soon as the right knee touches the floor, pull it energetically forward, so there's strength. Right knee up as you inhale. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Hands are rooted. Listen to yourself. Do you need your knees to come to the floor or hands at the wall, or is down dog feeling good? Arm bones lifted, then hips up high and heels towards the earth. Deep breath in. Exhale, walk your hands back towards your feet into Uttanasana. And if Uttanasana with your legs straight is a thing of the past or a thing of the never or a thing of the future, that's fine. Your legs don't have to be straight. You can bend your knees. You can put your hands on blocks. You can put your hands on a couch or a chair, on the wall again. Whatever you need. Inhale, look forward. Trust what your body is telling you. Exhale, fold back in and question it. Check in with yourself. Inhale, look forward. Because we need to question, because sometimes we bullshit ourselves. Exhale, fold back in. I'm sure it's not just me. Inhale, look forward, halfway up. Exhale, fold back in. Do you really think you don't ever make mistakes? No. Inhale, bend your knees, circle your arms, and rise up. Hips back, chest forward. Come all the way up. Exhale, lower your hands together to the front of your heart. Inhale, circle the arms up and lift your right leg up with your knee bent. And exhale, bring your left hand outside of your right knee and reach your right arm up, back behind you. If this is too much, you can do it with a hand at the wall, with your back against the wall. Sometimes balancing is not what we need to do. Now push the hand and the knee into each other. And as much as the left side of your body is twisting to the right now, with the right side of your body, resist it. Pull towards the center. Draw something in the opposite direction so that you can strengthen the middle. Inhale, back up to center. Both arms up, and exhale. Slowly or fast, lower your right leg down. Shake it out a little bit. And then inhale, lift the arms up and lift your left knee up. Exhale, with your left foot flexed, bring your right hand outside of your left knee and reach your left arm back behind you. Breathe deeply. And with the left hip bone and the left side of your ribs, draw toward the right as your chest pulls towards the left. So things are moving in opposite directions to create a more well-rounded experience that allows us more strength, that helps us be more confident. Deep breath, bring it back to center, both arms up. Exhale, lower the leg down, lower the arms down. Lift your arms up high, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees and bring your hands, cross your wrists, one in front of the other, and forearms to your thighs, hands to the inside of your knees like so, and push the knees and the hands into each other. Again, creating a little bit of resistance. Two things pushing in opposite direction to get both the strength and the questioning, the strength that comes through questioning, the shakiness that comes through it, the shakiness that leads to it, and the way that it takes us deeper into a place of being able to both move and then through the movement strengthen. Deep breath in. And it's ever changing, right? It's a transformative process. Exhale, fold forward, fingertips to the floor. Inhale and look forward. And exhale, walk your hands forward and come back into downward facing dog. Hands are rooted through the inner edges of the hands and the tips of the fingers. There's a deep connection. There's a solid foundation. Keep breathing in and out of your nose, through the tone in the back of the throat. Right leg up as you inhale. Bend the knee and open up the hip. And as you do, there's going to be a tendency to collapse a little bit. That's natural. It's normal. Sometimes we collapse and then we pick ourselves up and we recreate ourselves through the process. Lift your left arm bone up. Lift your left hip up. And then stretch your right leg towards the left. And as you lift your left arm bone up, be careful not to rotate your upper arm internally. So rotate your upper arm externally as you lift your arm bone up. Reach your leg back. Inhale. And exhale, step the foot forward. In between your hands, spin the left heel to the floor. Your right hand, if it can be on the outside of your right leg, left arm over your head, great. Do it. If you want a little bit of a version that helps you gather a little bit more strength, you can bring your right hand on the inside of your right leg and the arm over the head. And if you need to back out of it because it's too much, forearm to your thigh, left arm over your head, or if you need more stability, left hand to your left hip. So pick the one that feels most supportive for where you are, for what you need. Question it, check in, doubt it maybe, feel into it. Check all the options. Breathe and root your hands into the floor as you stretch long through your spine, as you stretch the left arm over the head and ground the left foot more deeply into the earth. One more breath in. Exhale, touch the ground and step back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hands are rooted, hips are lifted. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and open up your hip. And again, right arm bone lifted. Rotate your upper right arm externally. So if you see it turning in, turn it out a little bit. Keep the arm bone lifted. Lift your right hip up higher as you stretch your left leg toward the right. Reach your leg back. Deep breath in. And exhale. Keep the hands rooted as you step your foot all the way forward in between your hands. And then the fingertips of the left hand stay down. Right heel to the floor and pick. Hand on the outside, hand on the inside, or forearm to your thigh. You can try whichever, all the options to see what you need most. And breathe. And even here, like we did earlier in the twist standing up, draw the front of both hip bones, the front of the hip bones, towards each other. So there is an engagement here in the lower belly that happens through two sides of the body moving toward each other. And then as you turn your chest up to the sky, it's moving toward each other and also in opposite directions, right? It's both end. So as your chest turns up to the sky, the right side of your ribs turns towards the floor to create more engagement, which allows more confidence, right? And if we can even take that into the idea of the way that the belly, when we strengthen the belly, according to this is not scientific, right? It's like yogic ideas. It's very metaphorical, but the chakras, the chakra of the belly, Manipura, is all about willpower and confidence. So engage your abdominal region to activate what the yogis thought of as the center of confidence in ourselves. With an exhalation, keep it strong and touch the floor and step back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Even with that, right, we hear yogic teachings and we start to turn them into, oh, that's how it is, that's reality. Is it? A spinning wheel that is in the center of your body? That's not scientific, but it's beautiful to work with. Inhale, knees to the floor. It's wonderful as long as we don't, it's wonderful. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the arm bones up, chest down towards the floor, and then inhale, forward and up, point your feet, spread your toes. And hey, if having faith in it helps you, that's okay. I'm not gonna argue with that. Deep breath in. We all, in one way or another, believe in things. Exhale, go back into child's pose. Separate your knees, hips towards your heels, forearms to the floor, and forehead to the floor. A lot of people, faith gives them confidence. And they have confidence, though, in something outside of themselves. In astrology, in chakras, it's chakra, by the way, it's not chakra, just so you know. If you ever speak about it, you can know that it's a word from Sanskrit, comes from India, and it's chakra. Slow breath. People believe in all kinds of things, but sometimes faith, because it resists questioning, it takes the power away, and instead of distribute it evenly or fairly, where we all have access to it, the power, the confidence lives somewhere else. So we get to redefine and reconnect to that. Slowly bring yourself to lie on the ground, and we can do what feels helpful as long as we're not hurting somebody, right? Arms out to the sides, feet as wide as your mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, take your knees to the right. Now, if your knees are very sensitive and being up in the air like that, kind of like without faith, without religion, put blocks underneath it. There's other things that we can put underneath us other than dogma in order to find confidence. We get to empower ourselves, but by empowering ourselves, we don't take the power and become the one that are almighty. Inhale your knees back to center. Right? That's not confidence. If we feel like we need all the power, exhale your knees to the left, turn your chest to the right. Then it's not powerful. It's not confident. It's very shaky confidence if we think or feel like we need to control somebody else. And And then we reflect on it, and we see we all have moments where we become a little bit controlling. I mean, most of us maybe, right? So we check, we reflect, we notice, we ask, we question, we check with a friend, a therapist, a parent, a kid. We check, we question. That's how the confidence is built. I'm thinking of my kids. Inhale back to center. Exhale, let your knees knock in and bring your hands to your belly. Breathe into your hands. The way that kids develop confidence is by pushing against the boundaries that their parents set for them. The way that the relationship of trust is being developed is not just by never messing up, but through the repair, through, oh wow, okay, the trust was shaken. Now what are we going to do? How are we going to reestablish it? And then it goes deeper. I have an almost, not quite a teenager yet, but definitely on the cusp. Like in a year, she'll be fully in there, and it's there, and it's a whole new territory. If you're a parent out there, I'm sending you my support. It's so beautiful, and it's very challenging. Go ahead and stretch your legs and bring yourself into a resting space, into Shavasana. Your hands can stay on your belly if it feels good. You can open the arms out to the sides if that feels better. And we lean into the earth, and it feels solid underneath us. But the earth is ever changing, transforming as we speak. Even though it feels solid, it's not a stable condition, and nothing is, and nothing needs to be. A greater stability is developed through the shakiness, the change, the transformation. Let yourself rest into that, and I will leave you here. If you can rest for longer, amazing, please do. I'm grateful to have this moment with you, to have had this moment with you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, share it with your friends, with your family. Put a like on this video if you liked it. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. And head over to mamamandala.com to get deeper exploration. As you subscribe to the mailing list, you're going to get some free gifts and a deep dive in all kinds of ways. And I do have a course coming up that is going to help us cultivate deep confidence. So if this spoke to you and you're interested in going deeper, make sure to subscribe to our mailing list over on mamamandala.com. A link is going to be in the description of the video. And I don't want you to miss out on the announcements, so go ahead and do that. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Mwah. Namaste.